The mysterious encounter on the railroad. Michael was returning to his hometown after a long day in the city. His train was significantly delayed, and by the time he arrived at the station, it was well past midnight. The small-town station was nearly deserted, with only the sound of distant train whistles breaking the silence. Realizing that finding a cab at this hour would be impossible, Michael decided to walk home by following the railroad tracks, a shortcut he had taken many times before. As he stepped off the platform and onto the gravel path alongside the tracks, he noticed someone walking a few feet ahead. It was a young woman, her silhouette faintly illuminated by the station's flickering lights. Curious but cautious, Michael quickened his pace until he was walking beside her. "Late night, huh?" Michael attempted to start a conversation. The girl looked at him and nodded with a smile. "Yeah, my train was late. I study at the community college here and got stuck at the station." She introduced herself as Emily, a high school senior. As they walked along the tracks, she asked if he played badminton. Surprised, Michael nodded. "Yeah, I do. How do you know?" "I've seen you at the town's annual tournament," Emily replied casually. Their conversation flowed naturally, and before Michael realized it, they had reached the railroad crossing near his neighborhood. Emily pointed towards a small house near the crossing. "That's my home," she said. Michael offered to walk her to the door, but she insisted she would be fine from there. "Just make sure I get inside safely," she said, before waving him goodbye and disappearing through the gate. Moments later, he heard her voice calling from the porch, signaling she was home safe. Days later, as Michael passed by her house on his way to the city, he decided to stop by and check on Emily. He spotted an elderly man sitting outside the house. "Excuse me, sir. Is this Emily's house?" Michael asked politely. The man looked puzzled. "Emily? Who are you talking about?" "Emily, your daughter. I walked her home the other night from the station," Michael explained. The man's expression darkened as he pointed towards the living room inside. Michael's gaze followed and landed on a framed picture hanging on the wall, adorned with a floral garland. It was Emily's portrait. Michael's heart pounded. "I'm sorry, but I just met her a few nights ago." The man sighed, his voice trembling. 2 months ago, Emily was walking home from the station when a couple of stray cows startled her. She panicked and ran onto the tracks, right into an oncoming train. She didn't make it. Michael felt a chill run down his spine. His mind raced back to their conversation, her normal demeanor, the way she knew about the tournament. "She didn't seem unhappy," Michael whispered. The old man smiled weakly. "She loved life. Maybe she just wanted one last walk home." Michael left the house, his heart heavy with disbelief. As he walked past the railroad crossing, he couldn't shake off the feeling that someone was watching him. The memory of Emily's voice, her smile, and her parting wave haunted him with every step. That night, as he lay in bed, he could still hear her words. "Just make sure I get inside safely." Was it a dream? A figment of his tired mind? Or did Emily's spirit truly walk with him that night?